Hello, should we try that again? I'm ever so sorry. We had a little technical hitch there. Yes, we're still learning. This is only what, our fourth broadcast, maybe? Anyway, welcome to Textile Tuesday. Yesterday we had Jo on the show, which was fabulous. She brought Mortimer with her. There he is, he's still hanging about. But we didn't get a chance to go through all of the William Morris fabrics, and we launched those yesterday, and if you are buying those, then one off, you can use the code Morris10, and that will take 10% off your William Morris fabrics when you order them. The way to find them is on our website. The details are down there at the bottom there, so that's where you can go and have a good peruse around there. Each week we're going to be adding more fabrics, more goodies, more makes on there for you. But we thought we'd add it designer at a time each week for you. So we're going to make today this little William Morris bag. And here's how it's going to work out. Okay, you basically choose the fabrics that you want for your William Morris, or maybe you have fabrics at home that you already want to work with. That's absolutely fine. On the website we have, where have my handles gone? Well, we've got the pattern. It's a gorgeous House of Alistair pattern, and let me just show this to you. Look, I've got all the controls today and everything. It's probably what's going on. There we go. That is your House of Alistair design. Oh, that way. That way. There. Beautiful. Shopper with round handles. That's the name of it. With the kit, you will get one set of handles, wood effect handles. Now, because I know that you're going to love this, and you are probably going to want to make more than one, what we've also done is bundled 3 sets of handles, so 3 lots of 2, for you if you want to add that into your basket as well, so that you can make more once you see how really easy it is and how gorgeous and super effective it is. It's a really beautiful make. And super easy. So let's just have a look at our fabric options for you today. This here, this big bundle here, is all of the standard brand new range, which is gorgeous. We'll look at that in a minute. I also wanted to show you, we've got our hands on a few other William Morris fabrics for you. And I think, you know, this sort of one here, and let me show you this here. There we go. This is from the Kelmscut range, and whilst not necessarily obviously William Morrissey, I think just the fact that you would have those tones to mix in with your other William Morris fabrics. So for example, later we've got to show you, this is the quilt backing, which is your William Morris quilt backing, super wide. But look, I made the bag out of 1/2 metre of quilt backing, but what if I did that on the outside and then that on the inside? Then you've got those beautiful red colours and you are good to go. All things are possible. We also have on the website for you this one here, which well, this was one of their very first ones. This was the willow pattern for you. And this was one of the original ones, so it's shaded. It's just your 2 colours there, but equally gorgeous. And again, perfect to add in for your neutrals. Now, here's a lovely one, and I think that if you are loving a bit of William Morris, but loving the aquatones, then that is another fabulous one. Let me get you a little close up of that, because I can hold that there for you, and you can really see how beautiful that is. Some beautiful colourways there. And I just thought, because I also have for you, how about that? That's your Strawberry Thief. And that's on, that's like your typical Strawberry Thief, isn't it? But maybe you could line it with that, and how beautifully they go together. So we've got so many options here. And then also to throw into the mix, how about that as well? So this looks, it's got a texture of as if it's tapestry, but it's not. It is still your quilting weight cotton. So all of these are 44 inches so far, selvage to selvage. Let me show you this. So if you want that texture, and again, I think that would be lovely for a bag lining. It's got all of these, I think. I chose these fabrics for you today to go with this project because I thought the wooden handles would work an absolute treat. So for me, I was thinking maybe you might have this on the outside and then that as your lining. That would be equally stunning. So lots of options to go with here, which I think is really rather wonderful. Let me show you some other ones. Now what about this? A slightly smaller scale print there, and again 44 inches, selvage to selvage. There you go. Looking rather gorgeous. But then again, if you wanted to bring in similar colours but a slightly larger style print, what about this one here? Let me get this out for you. And again, you will find all of these on the website. Now you can just start to see, look, you start to get the animals that William Morris is so renowned for in these. It's almost like you've got Celtic knots going through here as well, isn't it? Really gorgeous. So again, we're looking 44 inches selvage to selvage. So if I waft that at you, there you go. You get an idea of how that's looking. Really rather beautiful. So if you are going to make a bag, then why not take that area there and think about fussy cutting so that you've got that focal point. Right, let's fold that. I've got a couple more that I just wanted to show you, and then we'll look at the brand new ones. This is from the Montague range. Look at that. How striking is that? Oh, I've got it upside down. See, even better the right way around. Look at that. So again, you know, you might want to have that weaving its way up through your bag. But the detail in these is exquisite. Absolutely exquisite, as you can see. Look at that. Very, very beautiful. And then I've got one more. You know, I showed you earlier, we had the one that looked like it was kind of a tapestry effect. I've got one more like that. And again, that's from the Montague range. Here it is. So it's going to look like that sort of tapestry look. And there it is. So it's kind of softer in terms of detailing, if you can see there. So maybe it would look more like a carpet bag if you use this. Beautiful. So that is the stuff that I had to bring you that I didn't get a chance to show you at all yesterday. And again, all on the website, all available by the half metre. And what I would say is that if you're going to buy a few, then bear in mind your code will work once to take 10% off. So pop as much as you need in there, because once you've used the code, you've used the code. So let's pop those fabrics to one side. Oh, decisions on what to use. It's tricky, isn't it? They're also blooming gorgeous. Right. Okay, let's pop those then to one side and we'll get going with the other fabrics. And we need to decide which we're going to do. Let me pop this there. Right, now, brand new Standon range. Standon was one of the houses, of course, that William Morris was renowned for. And just look at these. Just look at this. I just think this is beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And let me pop that there for you. There you go. This is the Poppy range. So these, we haven't got to the backing yet. These are your quilting weight, 44 inches, selvage to selvage. Utterly stunning. Let me pop that down there because what I want to start to build up for you is a little collection. Because if you are going to buy a few, then what about bringing this one into the mix? This was the one that Joe Carter was absolutely stunned by. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. So let me get you that nice and close up. There, look at the detail in there. Very, very gorgeous. And of course, you've got all of those beautiful colours to start to mix through with these purples and aquas. Just stunning. So how about maybe adding this one in? Here we go. Let me pull that out so you can see. Back way round. Gosh, I'm all upside down, back to front this morning, aren't I? How stunning is that? So I've got to decide this morning which fabrics to make everything in. Decisions. So do you want to see a close-up of that? Of course you do. Of course you do. There you go. Isn't that lovely? So again, all on the website. Go and peruse. It's available via the half metre. If you go for obviously more than half a metre, then it will be cut in one continuous length. Okay, that's just so that you know. But I think that those work an absolute treat together. How beautiful are they? But then you see, you might want to bring in, because look, this has got some beautiful creamy tones there. Let me show you this one. So this is the poppy again, like the lovely purpley one that we've got down the bottom. But let me show you this. I think everyone should have some of this in their life. Look at those beautiful natural tones, neutral tones, really handy to have. It's going to make a stunning lining. Really stunning. Pop it in your basket. And off we go. So I might add that onto the desk here, and we've got to decide. Now, yesterday, loads of you went for this. I don't blame you. It's kind of your traditional William Morris, isn't it? And again, 44 inches selvage to selvage. You've got the hair. Did we decide if that was a fox or a wolf? I can't remember. And of course the peacock with that beautiful plum background. Really stunning. So loads of you going for that. I mean, wouldn't that be beautiful as a bag? But if you are working that through, then of course you've got these plum tones over here with these fabrics that are gonna work beautifully through. So let's drape that down there. And then what a lot of you were absolutely loving was the hair and the birds. I just think that's beautiful. I want to make so many things with these. Just gorgeous. And this is in your aqua. Again, let me give you a nice close-up of this. Whee! There. Isn't it beautiful? Just sometimes just two-tone is so right. Love that. Let me find you another one. Right. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Which one's your favourite? Today, so I'm also learning to do all the controls myself this morning, so that then I can go live whenever I want to, and I don't have to wait for someone to come and press buttons for me. So bear with me if the camera angles get a bit all over the place. I'm learning. Again, from your stand-in range here. How beautiful is that? Now this is more of your blue tones. You've still got a hint of that purple in there. But this is a lovely mixer because this brings in your aquas and your purples, but also your willow, because look, your willow's coming in here. And can you see the detailing on that willow? They've sort of upped the ante with the willow there and given it more detail there, more depth. So I think they work beautifully together. Let me show you that one on this. So again, this is a real classic, isn't it? You look at that and you just know that's William Morris. Like when we were doing the show yesterday and my best friend messaged us, like, my mum's got that fabric. I'm like, I know, but if it's a winner, it's a winner. Oh, look how beautifully that goes. Hang on. Look how beautifully that goes with that one. It really emphasises the purple through there, doesn't it? Oh, that's gorgeous. So I'm thinking, as I'm going, about what I'm going to line this bag with, because I still haven't decided which ones to go with. I've shown you this one, haven't I? So that's your willow, and again that has more detail in. And I've also got that in a blue, because we're going into the blue tones next. So that's your blue there. But it's also got that natural neutral coming through with the stems. I love that willow. And then, oh yes, you're going to love this one, because how about this? So if you love the aqua version, what about a stronger, bolder version of your hare and your birds? Gorgeous. We're loving that. Now the next one to show you is here. And again, classic William Morris colours here. So just trying to decide, this is your golden lily. Isn't that beautiful? And let me get that on a nice close up for you. There. That's your golden lily. Just stunning. But then, what I also have, gosh, there's a lot, isn't there? I didn't realise. You know, when I just had these on the desk, I was like, yes, there's some beautiful William Morris here. Isn't it lovely? I didn't realise quite how much I had. And I can't update you on stock levels or anything like that, because I don't have that facility whilst I'm live. But look at those beautiful autumnal colours. But again, you've got those aquas, so you can mix them through. Ever so lovely. So you see, I thought that one worked quite well with your golden lily there. And actually, if you wanted, I think everyone should have some of the poppy in, was it linen or cream? I can't remember what it was called. It was either linen or cream. I think that one's cream. But you see, that looks gorgeous with that. But then I love the hair there with your willow. Oh, it's all good. Decisions. And then if you wanted to bring that across, you can. And I've put all those out because I want to also show you the poppy in navy. Isn't that lovely? So if you love the simplicity of just the two-tone, or if you want to start working with that and then bring in more of your William Morris sort of classic in terms of that one there, and this is your Loddon. So we had the Loddon, do you remember, with the beautiful purple through there, and this is it. This is going to go beautifully with that one. But if you want to pull it all together with that navy poppy, then that's a lovely combination to go for as well. Just loving these. It's almost too much to choose, isn't it? Decisions, and yet I want them all. It's really hard to know. So, I mean, right. Then the next thing to tell you, which I'm really excited about, is the backing fabric. 270 centimetres wide. That's 108 inches wide. And my arms aren't even long enough, whoops, to show you. So that is upside down. Some things never change, do they? Absolutely don't change. And this is your William Morris, oh my goodness, backing fabric with your strawberry thief. How exquisite is that? That is in linen. Beautiful. And just to give you an idea of how far half a metre of that would go. So it's normally our fabrics here are 44 inches selvage to selvage. That's normally how wide they are. That is 108 inches. Same with these. These are all quilt backing fabrics. Kate says, you know, you should get an applause for the back of your quilt as much as your front. So this is we've seen these designs, but they're just so much bigger. Look at that. Should that make rather a lovely scarf, actually, wouldn't it? We had Jules here yesterday. Jules found them and she was like, yeah, you could dressmake with these. Lovely cotton, because it's all 100% cotton. Lovely weight cotton for dressmaking with. So maybe that's a thing that you might want to do. Decisions, all decisions. But out of one of these, because I also have it in blue as well. Again, I can't check stocks for you, so I don't know how much we have left of this. I made this bag. Bear in mind that that's the outer. I also lined it in exactly the same. And I made, I've stuffed it with the, you know, we've got the buckwheat with the, oh gosh, what's it called? It's one of my favourite smells. Anyway, it's not the rose, it's the other one. What's it called? Completely gone blank. But it's in there and it's absolutely stunning. So I made that. I still had leftovers. From half a metre of your backing fabric. How's this for a lovely neutral in terms of backing fabrics? That's rather gorgeous, isn't it? And that's going to sit in anybody's stash. It's just a great, great amount of fabric. And then the last one to show you in terms of colour, look at that. Just incredible. Very, very gorgeous. So they are the fabrics. We've now got to choose which to make it from. Decisions. I'm going to pop the backing fabrics to one side. So you know that you can make it out of the backing fabrics, the bag, and also your tablet stand. All of those things can be made out of those. Now we've got to choose which ones to make it out of. Decisions. Oh, hang on. There's the red one as well. That's your red backing fabric as well. How did I forget that? Sorry. Look at that. Isn't that rather stunning too? So there it is. Just beautiful. And again, that is your backing fabric. I couldn't believe it when I found out that I could have these. I was like, yes. Brilliant. 108 inches. So if you've got some quilts that just need a bit of backing, maybe go for the linen one, or if it's already a William Morris theme, then you've got all of these options to choose from. Right, what are we going to make with? Oh, what do we think? We've got our wooden handles. Ooh, I know. I'm going to go with this one, the Golden Lily, and I'm going to line it in the poppy. What do we think? Yeah? Decision made. It was a tough one, but we made it. So let me move these out of the way. Decide which ones you're going for. It's been a really tough decision, I have to say. Yeah, when my supplier said, so which samples would you like? As all of them. Jan, obviously I'm blaming you because you wanted fabric wafted, so that was obviously my excuse for it. I was like, no, I need them all. Sorry about that, but I need them all. Oh, you see, but this would be my other choice. To do it in that way. So the poppy is becoming, let me get you that on a better, there we go. The poppy is becoming rapidly one of my favourites. I don't know whether or not to do the outside in that and the lining in that. Oh, decision. No, I'm going to stick with my original thought. I'm going to go with these. Right, so instructions out. Now, I know that a lot of you have stash, so that's why I didn't bundle everything together. So you can buy the instructions and one set of handles. They're on the website. You can top up and buy 3 extra sets of handles. I've bundled those together for you as well, because once you get making, this is a lovely gift as well. We're going to make this. Super easy. The pattern is by House of Alistair. He's an incredibly talented designer. and it's lovely to be able to bring some of his things to air for you. So if you are watching today, then obviously these will be on the website underneath where we're live. If you're watching and we're not live, then they are under House of Alistair if you need a little top up, shall we say, a little top up. So I am going to lay these up and do all my cutting in one go because I can. Right, let's pop that there and that there and that there and that there. Now, Alistair says to cut on a fold. Okay, maybe I'll do these one at a time. Maybe that would be the far better idea. So let me fold that there like that. And let me just check. No, need it a bit. So this is my 1/2 metre of fabric. Oh my goodness, I'm being really dim. I'm going to make 2 extra ones at the moment, aren't I? Let me fold that. So that's like my 1/2 metre of fabric there. And I'm just going to press that very, very quickly so that I've got that fold there. Bear with. It's not the best shot, is it? My bottom. Sorry, peeps. There we go. Well, that's gone some of the way. Right. So I'm going to have this as my lining. Here. Not sure it really matters which way up it goes. When you get your pattern, it comes in 2 pieces. Cut it out and you just sellotape top to bottom. And that's it. Then line it along the fold. So I could just move that. I hate waste. I'm sorry to faff, but I really hate waste. Really hate waste. So I want it there. And then I fold it there. Sorry, even the dog is yawning in the corner. Sorry, Arthur. Am I keeping you up down there? He is my constant companion. Right, so now let's switch to here. You can pin this and cut round if you want. You can just draw round if you wish. I'm just going to pin it on here and then just very quickly cut around for you. And you'll do this with this will be my bag lining. And then we'll transfer some marks. Okay. But remember, I didn't do this too far in advance because, I didn't do this too far in advance. I made this last night because I wanted to remember how to make it. So you will be able to get the bag out of 1/2 metre of fabric. So either choose 2 contrasting ones, one for your lining. But you see there, that's what I've got left when I've done my lining. So there's a sizable bit left. I believe the technical term is stash. Stash, we've got stash. So we'll pop that into the stash. And there is my lining there. There are a few marks to transfer, okay? And I will just get a pen to do so. Right, this is your stop mark here, which feels a little bit low. Just there for you there. And then I mark it across on the back of my paper, flip it over, and just mark that. For now, that's all I'm going to mark. Okay? That's so that I know where I'm going to sew to and from. And I should probably have done that on the back of my fabric because they're going to be right sides together, aren't they? Yes, they are. Yes, they are. Did I just cut one out? I needed 2. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'm having a right ditzy morning this morning. So let's cut another one out. So yeah, you are going to need 2 1/2 meters of fabric, aren't you? Let's do that. It's just been one of those mornings for me this morning. I don't know quite where my brain's at. So you're going to need 2 of these to make up your lining. And 2 for your outer. Okay. So all that faffing about, and I didn't need to. Goodness me. There we go. But this is it. I wanted to do this from start to finish for you. I really did. Because I think it's important. These instructions are written. So for anyone who is a visual learner, they are very thorough, but they are written. So for me, it did take me a moment to go, oh, what am I doing? There we go. Less stash, but a beautiful bag, right? And then all you do, and we'll do this with the outer as well, right sides together, like so. And just pin. I just pinned at my start and stop lines because this is beautiful quality fabric. This is gorgeous cotton. Now if you want to overlock it, you absolutely can. I'm also going to mark down here because otherwise I will forget. I'll be chatting to you. That is going to be my turning through bit there. So the pins are going to denote for me where I start and finish, and then also the fact that I need to leave a gap because this is my lining, so I will have a turning through. Let's take it to the machine. It's got a centimetre seam allowance, but quite frankly, what I would say to you is find what you are happy working with. I tend to use the edge of my foot as a guide and go with that. So I have also found on my machine this wonderful thing which does me 3 stitches to start off with, which I love very much indeed. And then just off you go around. And again, I'm not using anything fancy in terms of a walking foot or anything like that. Gently round the corner. But again, it's not too sharp a corner, so this is a great beginner make. And then there's my pin. I'm just going to do 1, 2, 3 again. Go to my next pin. Down, take out that pin. 1, 2, 3. And off I go again. So that will be my turning through, and again just gently round, you see, going round that corner, just gently round that corner. And then up we go. This it is a great beginner's make, but you look great because you've got the handles. So I have stitched around, there was my start and stop mark there, and I've gone around to the base, and then I've stopped, left my turning through, started again, and sewn all the way back up to my, where is it? There, my stopping point. Let me show you on the desk there. That's where I started, round to there, stop, jump, that's my turning through hole there, sewn round there. And I'm going to do that exactly the same with my outer fabric. Okay, let's see if I can actually if I can actually be sensible with this. Right, let's fold that like that. Let's fold that like that. Let's go there like that. Well, this is daring, isn't it? Let's see if this works. Just for speed, let's see, what do I do with my pins? So I want 2 outsides. That's what I'm looking at. Now, when I used the line, so I used the backing fabric for my other one that I made last night, and I did fussy cut. I did try to get it so that the birds and everything were all lined up beautifully, and it was really gorgeous. I did do that. This one, I think the pattern is slightly smaller, so I'm not so worried. I'm just going to get a lovely bit, a lovely wash of these colours. These colours are beautiful. I always think of William Morris as being sort of rich reds and blues. So I love the fact that you've got this more gentle aqua and purple. It's just exquisite. I love it. And again, don't forget your code Morris10 to get yourself 10% off. It's going straight into scraps, that is. Right, and here we go. And here we are. And again, I would pop those right sides together like that. I've got to remember right sides together. There we go. Right sides together, and again I will mark off from my pattern. It says on the pattern, it says that, now it says beautiful writing, start and stop stitching there. That's the one that you want. Okay, so that's the one we're going to use. Start and stop there. And then flip it over, because I marked mine on the other side. And then just to really double check, I then also pop a pin in there so that I know, because I'll stop for a pin, right? I'll stop for a pin. In it goes there. And then if you do need to, if you just want to keep your fabric from shifting, although this isn't shifty fabric. This is really beautiful fabric. Oh, I love it. Right, and then back to the sewing machine we go. And again, all the way around using that foot. What I would say to you is it doesn't matter what seam allowance you use, just pick one and stick with it. So I will just tie off that end, and then this time we don't have to stop for the turning through. So we can just get a wriggle on and go all the way around, slowing for the corner. Around we go. Do, 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 do. Let the machine do the work round that corner. Coming around, taking the pin out, and there we go. Whee! And again, always like being on a racetrack, isn't it? Slowing for, actually no, you're meant to accelerate through the corners, aren't you? Round, 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 round. If you do, you can just lift and adjust that foot if you need to. I'm just keeping the edge of my foot there right up until I get to my warning pin, my stop pin. 3 little uppy downy bits, and then I'm done. Okay, now I'm going to take a moment to refer to my notes. Have instructions, will use them. Once complete, turn the outer bag section out to reveal the right side of the fabric. Well, we can do that, can't we? If you want to clip those corners, by the way, then you absolutely can. But to be honest, look, do you know what? I might just, or get your pinking shears out. But if you want to just take out a little bit, then you can. Just take out a little bit. Snippety snip. There we go. But it's really not vital. These curves are very gentle, but if you absolutely want to, then you can. Or just get your pink shears out and pink around that edge if you just want it to lie nice and flat. Then you can. Right, let's spin that through. And you would be forgiven for thinking, what's going on here? It should be like that. Because when I did it, I thought, why have I got all this flappy bit here? And just, it's going to be a tiny bag. No, you are right. So then you insert this into the lining. So your lining is still right sides together. We haven't changed that, excuse me, at all. But what you are now going to do is stuff that bag into this one. Stuff it in, stuff it in. And then what you will have is effectively right sides together, and you're going to pin. So these flappy bits here, again, got all the technical terms for you this morning. These flappy bits here, you're going to pin because they're going to be right sides together. What I would suggest you do is pin the two top bits and then work your way down. One in the middle for luck. And if you were accurate as to where you did your stop, and if you've used the same seam allowance, this will all match up a treat. Haha. Right. If you haven't, and I've been quite good there. If you haven't, then there might be a bit of that going on. Then what I would say is just unpin that and take just a little bit off the top. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to match that other side there, right there, and I'm going to sew from there. So from where we sewed those two together, like that, I'm going to sew this top part around those sides there, and then I will be repeating that on the other side here. Okay, that is what I am going to do. In fact, I might just pin those whilst I'm here, and then I can just crack on with it. Again, this doesn't need loads and loads and loads of pinning. It's an absolute joy to work with this pattern. I've really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it. And again, it's a nice one for a beginner. There is a slight bit that you need to be just a little bit careful with later on. But for a beginner, because you've got the ruching of the bag handles, it is very forgiving. So on this one again, I will sew up there, along there, and down that side there. Right, let's take it to the machine. To the machine. Here we go. I'm going to start right down here. Whoop. If your machine's got a little bit of extra lift, you might require it right now. And again, I will do my 1, 2, 3, and off I go. Now you can do reversing backwards and forwards, but what I have come to realise is that actually my reversing ain't all that. At the top, needle down, pin out, pivot. If you haven't got your seam allowance quite right, go back, down on a couple more stitches, needle down, spin around until you're at the same seam allowance, and then off you go. I'm just going to take out that pin there, and then I can zoom down that side. Whee! Now I am going to be honest, as a visual learner I did look at the pattern and go, Alistair, but honestly, once you've done one, hopefully I'll be able to show you just how easy it is and what a beautiful gift it would make. Or just, you know what I'm like for my bags down the market. I do like a good market bag, and I'll be able to put a lot of stuff in. Actually, my friend Gemma said to me last night, she said, oh, I've got lots of these sorts of bags stuffed full of wool. It does have that kind of feel, doesn't it, of that wool bag. Right, so I'm at the end there. 1, 2, 3. So that's sewn that all the way. Let me show you this one. So I've now stitched, come on, switch over camera. There you go. I've now stitched along there, along the top, down there. And I'm now going to stitch the other side all the way along there. Okay, so flip that side out the way and take it to your machine. And you want to get, you see here, this is where we started and stopped stitching on the, when we went round the bottom to start off with. you want that, you can see there was that my start stop line there. So you want to start right in there and sew around. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to get right in there. Diddly-dee. And if you need to, something pokey, whoops, and just move that, a little bit of my seam is just bunched a little bit. So just get something pokey, move it out of the way. There we go. There we are. Right. Triple stitch just to hold it, and off we go again. Same seam allowance. Now, if your edges don't meet entirely, don't worry. Right, let's go right up to that end, needle down, spin around, and off we go again. Whee! And then steady up as you get to the corner. Take any pins out that you might have. And pivot. And down we go, last side. So there's the odd little curve here and there, but really I'm coming into that, into where all of those bits meet down there. Slowly, slowly. There we go. And then there we go. So again, we can see that we've now stitched around there, and around there, and around there. What I'm going to do is just in the corners, snip them. Just takes a little bit of the bulk out. Same here. There we go. And then turning through time. Swear we hope we've done it right. Yeah? And this did take me a little while yesterday. I was like, hang on a minute, hang on. I've got bits here and bits there. But I also didn't help myself because, oh hello. Hi Theo. You helping? Good lad. You're never alone, are you? Never alone with a cat. Right there, bushy tail. This is the one that got hit by a car. You wouldn't know, would you? That's his limpy leg. It's nearly better now. You like to help, don't you, mister? Hey? So you want to get, what I did was that turning through bit, I just pushed down there, and then look, you start to get an idea of where everything needs to be at. Hi, really helpful today, aren't we? Yep. You nearly had Eric, my Great Dane, with us earlier. That would have been fun, wouldn't it? Everything is chop height, isn't it? Everything. Right. Excuse me. Would you like to leave now? Go on. You have been fed. How dare I? How dare I try and use my own workroom? How rude. How rude. Yes, you slinky off out there, mister. Right, if you want to poke out your corners, then you have to go back in, or back in through your, there you go, you want to see what I'm doing, don't you? So everything is laid out there. If you want to poke these corners out, you can either go back in through your lining and poke them out, or the other way is just to get a little pin and just oink them out that way, so that you're getting those crisp points, because you mited them. Do you remember you just picked off the ends there? And then again with this bit, look at these colours, aren't they beautiful? So I'm just pulling out those corners. There we go. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just press along this top seam here and along there. I'm going to make sure that it's not, can you see, let's have a look here. If I were to just press it like that, then I would lose a whole load of fabric. So I want to make sure that it's all fully pulled out before I press it. Now you can press it from the other side if you wish, and you can press those seams flat should you wish from the other side. I do it this side. The instructions say to do it the other way, but I've turned it through now. I've had that battle. So I'm just going to go and press this. I need to get myself one of those woolen pressing mats because they're fab, and then I would just be able to stand there and show you what I was doing. So if you want a starch sprayer or anything like that, do. You don't need to with this fabric, but you can. There we go. And just getting those seams as wide as you can as you press. Dee, 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 dee. Try not to scorch your fabric. I have form. So we're not top stitching or anything at this point. There's none of that. We're just making sure that those seams are as wide as they possibly can be and just pressing. And then, oh no, I need my iron on. I need to do one more press and I'm done. It's a pressing matter. Right. Okay, so what you can do now is get your template out again, because we're going to be needing the template sheet. Okay, on your template, spin this around for you to see here. You've got all these funny lines at the top, and that says fold line, and that is your placement line for the top. So what I'm going to do, you've got your fold line there, and then you've got your placement line for the top. So your fabric will fold down, and you want to have it along there so that you're then going to stitch along there, but you're going to incorporate your handles. So we're basically making the channel for the handles. Okay, that is what we're going to do. So we're going to get a pen to mark this with. And you are going to mark on the interior. So pop that in there. Line that up with the top there. And this is going to be your line there. And then what I did was I just got myself a little ruler. Press that straight, never mind. Got myself a little ruler and drew myself a line along there, all the way along there, with a water erasable that can come off, or a friction pen, or whatever it is that you've got. And you're going to do that on the other side as well. So flip it over, open it up. Again, stuff your template in, but we're looking to line up this top piece. So that along the top, that along there, that along there, and then line it up with your ruler. And you are good to go for the next bit. So next, you want to get your handles one at a time. So basically what we've done is we've created for you a channel. That's what we're doing. So that is going to fold over to there, onto that placement line there, and that is going to create your channel that the bag handle is going to go into. This is the only slightly fiddly bit with this bag, if I'm honest. This is the Theo. Yes. Are we going to have words? Do you want to wear it? You're going to sit on it. Excellent. Good. You play with that one over there. So what I would do to help you is just press along that fold line. I'm going to move you again. I know you're not going to like me, are you, for it? But there we go. So fold that top bit over and we're just going to press. And that is your last bit of pressing. But this is pressing now. That fold in is going to really help you. And I'll do it on the other side as well. So I fold to that placement line I've just drawn and then press along there like that. And now I can undo. There we go. Right. So what I did, because this is the only kind of fiddly bit, is I put my handle in like that, and then I just popped a little pin in there. And because I've pressed that, it's staying quite neatly. And this is why I chose this fabric for this design, because it does sit very nicely there. Now you can, if you wish, sew along there to start off with. That can be quite fiddly to sew just that little bit there. So if you want to, just sew straight along that line. Now I do it from this way, from the inside out. That's how I do it, because then I know. If you'd mark the placement line on the outside, then you'd have to really know that you were going to catch it. This way I know I'm going to catch it. So let's take this to the machine to sew. Are you helping, Theo? Always, always, always. And if you need to, again, lift up that foot so it's nice and high, and find a position. Take out that pin now. Find a position and use the edge of your foot as a guide. I am going to move that over. I'm going to use my foot. I've got a marker on my foot. That's where I'm going to start. I'm going to do 3 little starting stitches, and then I'm going to go into there. Now, if you want to, actually, you can just go backwards on this, because that is going to be an area that's going to take a little bit of force, isn't it? So I'm just going to roll my hoop and stitch as far along as I can. Stop, roll my hoop round, stitch a bit further. It's a little bit stop-start, but that's the worst of it. Roll my hoop, stitch, roll, stitch. And you can see it's starting to bring this around with it. It's okay, it's got to come. Bring it around, stitch it along. I love these colours. I love this design. Oh, I'm so pleased I chose these ones. Dee, 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 dee. And then I'm going to stitch all the way to the end. I will actually go backwards and forwards over that end point. Give it a little helping hand. And you can see now, if I show you, you've got one bag handle done. How easy was that? One little bag handle done. So we need to repeat on this side. So that's where we pressed it. So we've got that pressed line on there. Get your other handle, tuck your handle in, and just pin it, just to take it to the machine. It's less faffy. Just pin that there. Take it to the machine, and again, line your foot up along there, and we're just going to sew straight along there. That's it. That's all we're going to do. So let's go back to the machine. Again, if you need to, just lift up. Find that same marker point that you made. I'm going to go forwards and back just over that edge. So I've started just off the bag. Forget to take your pin out. And I'm making sure that the top of my bag here is on that placement line that we drew. Yeah? So I'm keeping that on there. I'm not pinning it because that gets too faffy. I'm just making sure that I get to there. And each time I get to there, twist that handle down. Stitch a bit more. Twist the handle. Stitch and twist. Sounds like we're doing it some sort of exercise, doesn't it? We're really not. We're really not this morning. Let's go there. Whee. Now, you see, for me, if that is the trickiest bit, I can cope with that. I can absolutely cope with that. Backwards and forwards. And ladies and gentlemen, that's another handle done. Push that down like that. So you've got your gorgeous lining in there, and it almost, well, it acts almost like a facing. So that's the inside of my bag there. I've got my wonderful William Morris. Now, what I will just need to do, pull my base out, and you know I had that opening through hole there. I'm going to cheat a bit, okay, because, you know, I'm busy, you're busy, we've all got stuff to do. And I'm just going to run a little line of stitches just along there. It's going to be inside my bag. I'm not going to see it, but I'm just going to top stitch along there, just so that I know that I'm not going to lose anything back into the lining. Stuff my lining back down into the bag. There, like that. Adjust my handles, like so. And there, ladies and gents, you have it. One rather beautiful William Morris bag done in an instant. Just arrange it like that. Isn't it gorgeous? All done. There we are. And you can press it. Of course you can press it if you want to. You don't need to. The other thing that you can do, and that's the other start-stop marks that you've got. If you want to, you can sew. Let me show you. You can sew just along there. Hang on, let me get an even better shot because I can. If you wish to, then you can sew just along there, just so that that handle doesn't move around too much. But to be honest, I've done both. I've sewn it and not sewn it. Does it make much difference? No, not really. There you go. One gorgeous bag made. I just love it. There you go. So thank you ever so much for joining me this morning. I hope that's helped. So when you get your pattern, you can watch this back. Just a couple of notes to make for you all. The only way that Natasha Makes can happen is by having companies that are happy to post out on my behalf. Okay, so we call that drop ship. My mum says I have to be careful how I say that because it could sound a bit rude. Drop ship. Which means that people will dispatch for me. So you might not get your fabric and your pattern and everything in one go. They will come from different suppliers. Okay, it means that I can use lots of different suppliers and source from all sorts of different places, which gives greater variety for you and bring it to one central place, which is here, Natasha Makes. But it does mean that it'll come in different orders. So the other thing to bear in mind is that some of it will come from the EU, so there will be a slightly longer delivery time on that. And when you get your initial email saying that it's been fulfilled, your order's been fulfilled, what that means is that we have fulfilled it in sending it to the warehouse. So you know that your order has been accepted and it's gone to the warehouse. They will then pick it and send it, but our end of it has been fulfilled. Okay, so that's, I think there's been a little bit of confusion as to what all of that means. So we've changed the wording slightly to help you with that, but that's what that means. But it just means that we can get from other lots of little companies as well, which is lovely, supporting lots of other people, and that's how we're making all of this possible. And again, a big thank you to all of you for all of your support. We've been absolutely overwhelmed, and like I say, you know, your support comes in many, many forms. It can be the lovely emails that you can send us. It can be just in the fact that you share this video, or you share my page, or you share the website. That's also incredibly supportive. And of course, for those of you that are buying and making, that is a great way to mean that we can stay. So again, big thank you to all of your support and all of your lovely messages. It's myself who's, you know, obviously up front and central here for you, but it's also, I've got an amazing team in terms of my suppliers, but also in terms of SJ. So if you ever have a problem, then it's often either myself or SJ that will be dealing with it. So that's info@Natasha Makes if you have any questions, and also to Josh, who does all of the computer stuff that I don't understand and makes the website work. So a big thank you to them, and I shall see. Next Monday is slightly different. It will still be on at 10 o'clock, and we've got lovely Jules Fallon in next Monday, but we've had to pre-record it because I'm going on a secret mission, which is ridiculously exciting, and I can't wait to share with you. When I come back, I will have a massive launch and a big shout about it, but I can't tell you yet. It will be absolutely worth the fact that we won't be live, but we have pre-recorded a show for you so that you're still getting your fix, and Jules and I have got lots of exciting news to tell you next Monday. So the next time to tune in is next Monday, 10 o'clock. Jules and I will be here, remotely but here, if you see what I mean. Have a lovely Tuesday, and I will see you soon. Bye bye.